Hi, welcome to Chowder Hearts. My name again is Gift Oyin. I'm the founder of Chowder Hearts. Like you all know, Chowder Hearts is a platform that I founded to discuss and share ideas on what can help you care for your child as regards education, as regards childcare and consulting. I like to divide the topics that we talk about at Chowder Hearts based on education, childcare and consulting quarterly, and see how we can care for children and also extend it to other children as teachers and as schools. In this video, I'll be sharing with you top reasons why teachers leave schools, why they don't stay in schools. As someone that has practiced teaching, has been in education for quite a while, I have first-hand experience in childcare, first-hand experience in teaching, in practicing education for over a decade. So from my experience, I'll be sharing with you from the teacher perspective. I have been a teacher for over 10 years. I started teaching in a secondary school. From there, I graduated into becoming lead in different departments. From there, I had my son and ventured into early years, and I have certifications in different areas. In as much as my BSc is in food science and technology, I found passion and my calling with children and in education. And I've helped so many parents and so many teachers and schools as well to amend the areas or look into areas or become aware of areas where they need to fill in the gaps that might be affecting the growth or the success of the school system. As we all know that education or learning is a continual process. It's a continuous process, as you like. So I wouldn't say that I have it all. What I'm going to share with you is my own experience from as a teacher, as an early years practitioner, as a coordinator. I have coordinated a grade school before. I have become a school administrator. If you go to my Instagram handle, you will see my bio where I explained in details my journey. So if you're seeing this video for the first time and you're a parent, you're a teacher, or you're a school owner, or you intend to venture into teaching, it's something that you would love to do, to care for children, to know how best you can care for them through teaching or through by opening a school, are actually in the right place. So this month of April, I'm going to be sharing lots of ideas on what happens within the school system from the teacher perspective, from the parent perspective, and from the school or the employer's perspective. And I want you to also know that there is a connection, there's a link between the teacher, the parent, the school, and the child. Any which of them that is not satisfied or actually not giving their best, the other person will be affected. That is why this month of April, I'm dedicating it to sharing practical experiences and what you can do to fill in the gaps and to improve in areas that you don't know you're lacking in, or areas that you're lacking in, what you can do to be better as a teacher, to be better as a child carer, to be better as a parent, to be better as a school, as a management staff. So I'll be sharing top 5 reasons why teachers do not stay in school. So if you're a teacher out there, I'd like you to share this video with other teachers or share it with your school administrator. These are things that you might need to sit down as a board or as a school management to look into it, to see what you can do to retain your teachers. Because one thing I know that affects schools is low turnover of teachers. It doesn't just affect the school, it affects the parents, affects the child. You can imagine a situation where a child started with teacher A in the term, and in the middle of the term, the teacher had left or found one reason or the other why she or he doesn't seem or doesn't feel they should stay back, and they leave. Most times they don't leave to other profession. they leave to other schools, and when they get there, they still leave. There is something wrong. Is either there's something wrong with the teacher or there's something wrong with the school. These are things that we need to look into. Like I said, I've been a teacher. I'll be talking from the teacher perspective. I've been fortunate to be in the position of a school owner. I haven't owned my school yet, but ran a school before. So I can see, I've seen it from different angles. And this is us bearing it open, being sincere and practical with ourselves to see what we can do to form that synergy amongst the teachers, the students, the parents, and the school especially, so that you can have a smooth sail, so that when parents register their kids, they are relaxed, they are at peace. They don't have one reason or another to change schools. Why? Because the relationship between the teacher and the school management is healthy, and the relationship between the teacher and the child's parents is healthy. When everyone is happy, when everyone knows what to do, know the areas that they need to improve in, and they are working towards it, I'm sure that the system will be better for everyone. You won't see teachers leaving, you won't see schools rejecting teachers, you won't see toxic environment, you won't see parents leaving schools and returning and all of that. You won't see children being uncomfortable in the school system. Having said that, I'll just jump into it. The first I'll be sharing with you today is lack of proper welfare policies, or absence of welfare policy. Every proper school should have their code of conduct, either in soft copy or hard copy, where upon employment, teachers with through sign to be sure that they agree with the terms and conditions governing the school. So each school have terms and conditions governing them, the values, the code of conduct, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. So some schools already have welfare policy for their staff. And remember, in a school, you have teaching staff and non-teaching staff. Particularly laying emphasis on the teaching staff, in as much as most of the things I'll be sharing today would also benefit the non-teaching staff. But particularly teaching staff, most times you see schools, they have those policies, those welfare policies, probably in the handbook, the staff handbook, but nobody is supervising to see if those welfare policies are being implemented. Welfare policy, for instance, when it comes to finance, is a school paying the teachers what should be paid? Or is a school taking good care of the teachers? What are the welfare packages? For instance, when someone's birthday is coming, or when someone's promotion is due, or when someone is getting married, or when someone, there are welfare packages, the different welfare packages for teachers, or when someone is sick and they need medical care. All of these are under the welfare package that is discovered that most schools have this on paper, but in reality, they do not implement it. This is one of the things that when teachers are employed into such schools or such organizations and they discover it, it kind of discourages them. It doesn't give them the assurance to keep going, because teaching is a very good profession. It's a very good career. However, it has its challenges, just like every other career has its challenges. Teaching has its challenges, but it could be at the extreme if you are not doing it with passion. So there are things that schools should put in place to ensure that as teachers are working, they are happy working with the children. And I also use this opportunity to say to you that is watching, either you are a teacher or you are a parent, you should be aware of the reasons why people join schools, or even school owners. What is the reason why this teacher has been employed? Or what is the reason why I want to teach? Is it because I have passion for it? Is it because I love children? Or is it because There's no job and I just need to jump into anyone I see before I get myself settled and then find a better job. Whatever your reason is, as much as possible, ensure that you're giving it the best. So one of the reasons why teachers will not stay in your school as a school or as a management staff or as an employer, I'm saying to you now, is because those welfare packages are not being implemented religiously. Those welfare packages are more like a pat on the back for teachers, because I'm going to mention other reasons. But when the welfare policy is clear, because those handbook, teachers will always go back to it to read, to make reference. When the welfare package is intact and is being implemented, it kind of gives teachers that buffer. It kind of gives them a soft landing. Peradventure, they get into an emergency situation. For instance, a teacher has had an accident or loses their father or a family member. What is the school? What does the school have in place or on ground concerning those situations? The teacher wants to know. Being a school where you would have to go to, if you're not feeling well, there's a hospital where you go and then you're being taken care of. So the package is more like every month you're entitled to 25,000 naira for, or 30,000 naira thereabouts for your medical care every month. You can't fall sick every month, but the school has put it in place so that anywhere you go to treat yourself, probably you needed to see a doctor or you needed to get medication, as long as it doesn't exceed that 30,000 naira, the school caters for it. That is a very good welfare package, and you see them implementing it. So you see people when they visit, sometimes when we visit the hospital, or you're not feeling well, you need to treat malaria, or you need to buy some drugs, some medications and all of that. You might not go to the school's hospital, the one that is recommended to do it, but any hospital you go, as long as you come with a receipt or an evidence that this is what I spent on my medicals, you will be refunded. That is one. Secondly, when there are birthdays, people's birthdays are celebrated, you know, it's a way to cheer people on. There are people, the background they're coming from, nobody has celebrated their birthdays. There are people, it will shock you that so many people do not even know their birthdays. But when teachers are in a system where they know they are being cared for, their feelings are being catered for, some schools even go further. They even provide therapy, emotional support. They have counselors that peradventure, if you have a fallout with a colleague or you have a personal issue that you're having or private family issue, you can reach out to the counselor, you can reach out to the therapist and have that conversation, and something will be done to see that you ease the tension so that you can do your job excellently. Because if you're not healthy psychologically, you're not stable emotionally, you will not deliver well. You will not relate well with the children that you're taking care of, or even with your colleagues. That leads me to the second point, which is lack of professionalism. Professionalism in the sense that what you expect a teacher to do in a school system, the teacher expects that they are seeing it happen in the school. For instance, you're saying teachers should dress in a certain manner, teachers should not wear tight-fitting clothes, teachers should not wear sleeveless clothes, teachers should not speak in a certain manner, should not use some kind of language or some kind of words. You turn back and a teacher is walking into the principal's office or into the coordinator's office, and the teacher hears the coordinator using those kind of words or dressing in some kind of seductive way or conducting themselves wrongly or speaking, shouting at a teacher. When a coordinator cannot conduct themselves, cannot be calm to call a teacher respectfully into the office and speak to them concerning what might be going wrong or what they need to improve on, and then you start shouting at the teacher or you start raising your voice at the teacher or even use insulting words at the teacher in the presence of the children, on the presence of their fellow colleagues, that is breaking the rule of professionalism. Now the teacher doesn't have the confidence again to even work. The teacher feels, oh, They are not practicing what they are preaching. This is not in our code of conduct. There's some schools, they don't encourage teachers to polish their nails, to keep long nails or long hair or long earrings, especially for early childhood practitioners. You wouldn't wear dangling earrings, wear long nails. You know, there's some kind of mannerism, there's some kind of composure, there's some kind of conduct that is expected of teachers. And for people that are now examples, people that are now models, coordinators, supervisors, they look at you, they are not seeing what you are asking them or what is written in the handbook. They're not seeing you doing it. It means that there is no professionalism. It means it's zero. Or you find a teacher, it's not expected of a teacher to sleep while in class or to eat while in class. There might be a room where they're supposed to eat, or even find a corner in the class where they can eat. Whatever that is expected, the conduct that is expected of a teacher, you as a school, you as a management, you expect a teacher to display, but you are not displaying it. It means that professionalism is zero. So these are one of the reasons that teachers will leave the school, because they are not seeing example, they are not seeing what you're asking them to, they're not seeing you do it. Lack of professionalism, they're not seeing you encouraging them to be better. It is expected that when a teacher comes into a system or a school system, as an employer or as a school owner, when a teacher comes into your school or you absorb a teacher, the teacher should leave better. The teacher should have learned so much from your school system, from the school system, that the teacher becomes more marketable. For example, over the years, I have not always been like this. From my youth service, I started teaching from my youth service, and I started graduating. I started learning. I started learning deliberately. I learned a lot by observation, and I moved to the first school I taught. And believe me, as I was moving, the salary was increasing now, and I was becoming better. At no point did I go backwards. Why? Because the standard was always high. I always look and assess a school before I even allow them to take me, or before they even take me in. I'm always very sure that I'm going to learn from the school. So there are some teachers that are like me, that won't settle for less. They want, as they're coming into the school, as they're giving their passion, as they're giving their best, their hard work, they are putting in the work, they are willing to work, they are loyal, they want to also get back professionalism, they want to also get back expertise, they want to get back excellence, they want to see improvements in their career. That leads me to the third point. The third reason why teachers would leave your school is when there is little or no growth in their career, when they do not see any future, lack of future for their career. Every teacher that is right thinking, every teacher that is a successful teacher, or a teacher that is looking forward to be better at what they do, would want to grow from point A to point B to point C, and so on and so forth. No teacher wants to be the same teacher in 2020 and be the same teacher in 2023. We all want to keep growing. A teacher wants to, by the time they have spent 5 years in the teaching career, they would have gotten some certifications, they would have done some professional development courses, they would have been able to achieve so much, even travel around the world, or even engage in some tour, engage in some school competitions or collaborations that would improve, make them more marketable, improve their career and make them more marketable. So for teachers like that are highly ambitious, teachers that know what they want and what they're looking for, and they come into a school system that will not allow them thrive, school system that doesn't have what it takes for you to be better at what you do, that will not put them on their toes to take courses that would make them better in areas of weakness. For instance, if a teacher is lacking in the area of communication, or in the area of relating, or in the area of emotional intelligence, they lack people skills. They want to be in a school that will see that area of weakness in them, recommend courses they can do, see that the management works with them to see that they achieve and they become better, and they overcome or become masters in those areas that they were weak upon employment. So for schools that do not have plan for the teachers that they absorb, you don't have a template for appraisal, you don't have a template for promotion, you don't have a template for growth. For instance, teachers will not stay. They would leave in no time. It means that the system is not what it should be. It means that the system is not a standard system that can compete with the global world. Remember, we're living in the 21st century, and every teacher that wants to be better is a 21st century teacher. A 21st century teacher always wants to be better in everything that they are doing. That will lead me to the fourth reason why a teacher would leave your school is insubordination. Just like the second point I mentioned, these are semantics, or what would I call it, that you experience in every system. Every system, not just in the school system, have people that would want to go 5 steps ahead of them. They see their supervisors, they want to jump their supervisors and go to the school director or to the proprietors or to the proprietor. Let me tell you, as a school owner, as a supervisor, as a management team, for whatever reason, do not encourage insubordination. Situations where some teachers will feel you do not follow protocol. Or as a teacher, there are some teachers that lack such training, perhaps because of where they are coming from or because of their background, or they have not been opportune to be exposed to systems that would check or that would streamline their excesses. So when they find themselves in a school that perhaps the policy or the system of the school, the structure of the school is seemingly weak, they want to test boundaries. While those teachers are testing boundaries, some others that are professional, some others that have what it takes, that already know what is obtainable, they will be watching by the side. They want to see how the school management is going to handle it, how the supervisor is going to handle it. So for instance, you will see a teacher that has an idea. Perhaps you have an idea about something, maybe a competition, or you want the school to be published in a magazine or a newspaper review or something. Naturally, you're meant to meet your supervisor and discuss it with your direct supervisor. Some schools will call you line manager. But you see this teacher that lacks this skill would instead go straight to the proprietor. She wouldn't want to go through her supervisor. For whatever reason, maybe she's looking for promotion or she's seeking for notice or whatever reason. She will jump the protocol, she will jump the hierarchy and find a way to want to talk directly with the proprietor or with the school director instead of going through her line manager. And when you as a management staff or when you as a school owner entertain such a teacher and takes the advice, whatever, how beautiful it sounds, another teacher is watching. The other teachers are watching. She would also, or he would also go back to report to them that, wow, if you have an idea, if you have something you want to share, any idea or whatever it is you want to sell to the school, do not go through the supervisor. Just go straight to the director. That is absolutely wrong. It is not professional. It is the act of insubordination. When that is happening in your school, teachers that have foresight, teachers that know what they are doing will not last in your school. That would only expose others to unhealthy or toxic relationships. You see, in the system, there will be camps. People will start forming camps, people will start forming cliques. That synergy that is expected of the teachers to have among themselves or the management to have among themselves will not be there again. That is where it starts cracking from. So, as much as possible, as a school owner, as a school management, sit with your management and be firm. to ensure that you do not allow or entertain any form of insubordination, no matter who that is. Ensure that you stick to the structure and follow these structures in the school system. It is going to help your school to have healthy relationship amongst themselves. The teachers, they will be able to collaborate, ask each other questions, be free with themselves. They will see themselves as colleagues. There won't be competition among themselves, because when you allow insubordination, you might be the one gaining from it, but tomorrow you might be the one that they step on your toes. So insubordination in any system will not let that system grow. It crumbles a system, and in no time it begins to affect the delivery of the teacher, because when the teacher feels, oh, I can jump protocol, now the teacher can go straight to director and mention the faults of the supervisor to the director. As a director of a school, do not entertain any side talks. A teacher reporting their line manager or supervisor to you, the director, it is absolutely unacceptable. You as a director, you as a management team should be able to have a structure in place where you can supervise what the line manager is doing, and not the teacher telling you or reporting their line manager to you. Subordination crumbles a system so much, and when teachers that do that, they don't actually know what they are doing because they lack proper knowledge of what they are doing. But when you allow them to do it, it starts even affecting them. They're not going to be their best. They start feeling, oh, we can get away with anything. I can get away with anything I do. I can actually step on anybody's toes and get away with it as long as I'm smart. It means that the structure is not in place. This is one of the reasons why teachers would leave a school, because they feel the school system is not professional, is not what it should be. The fifth reason why teachers would leave your school is lack of resources, lack of teaching resources, or inadequate teaching resources. Permit me to tell you that teachers get frustrated when they have made their lesson plans and it's time to teach, and boom, the resources and the materials they need to introduce the concepts or whatever it is they're trying to teach the children is not in place or is not available. For whatever reason, either because of lack of proper planning or because the school didn't make plans for it, they make provision for it, or because of lack of money. It is expected that for a school that is well organized, before the end of every term, there should be requisitions written to the accountants through their line managers or through their supervisors for all the resources and everything that they will need. The teacher provides the requisition. The school, from the curriculum, also provides everything that the students would need according to the curriculum, according to what each class would need, so that when teachers need to teach, they are not lacking books, they are not lacking educational resources, they are not lacking toys, they are not lacking any form of resource that they would need to facilitate teaching and learning. It frustrates teachers so much that when they are enthusiastic about their class, they have put in the work, they are passionate about giving their best, delivering in the class or wherever they want to teach the children, what they would need to make the class exciting, to make the class what it should be, to drive the topics home, is not available. Most times, before you give children homework or a project to do or to carry out, you would have, as a teacher, practiced with them in school or in class before you now give them to do theirs at home and come back to show you. So, for a school that do not have plans for resources, you keep repeating books, you don't know what is obtainable in other schools, you're not asking questions, you're not in associations of proprietors or proprietresses, You do not have meetings with school owners to know what is going on, the books that are using, what is obtainable. You might be losing your teachers just because of this singular reason. Why? Because as those teachers in your school or as your teachers are struggling, looking for resources, sometimes the passionate ones go as far as spending their own personal money to buy these resources. And the school doesn't see the need to reimburse them or to pay them back. They start getting frustrated. The first day, the second day, the third day, they can only hold it for so long. So, make plans for resources and have extra resources. And ask your teachers from time to time, please make inquiry and find out the resources that you need for this topic, for this activity, for this topic, for this activity, so that it can be provided before time. And peradventure, it wasn't provided. Teachers are meant to submit requisition. It should be provided immediately. When teachers have to go outside the school to look for resources, go outside their comfort zone to look for resources to teach in your school, it doesn't speak well of your school. One, it discourages the teacher. Two, it limits the teachers. Three, it makes them see that you're not taking them seriously, you're not helping them. It's even worse when a teacher in your school is now discussing with their colleague in another school. Peradventure, their colleague in another school is saying, oh, we have all the resources. I'm wondering what is going on with your school. You see the reason why your teacher is going to leave your school? Please, as much as possible. All of these are just for us to see ways we can bridge the gap amongst ourselves as teachers, as management staff. This is not to expose anybody. This is not to throw stones at anybody. This is not to say, oh, so this is what they are saying. So this is for us to brace up. I'm also going to discuss in my next video other 5 top reasons why teachers will leave your school. And again, I'm also going to discuss reasons why schools will not retain you as a teacher. Yes, it goes both ways. So please tag every teacher, share this video with all the teachers and teacher platforms that you know, to school owners that you know, so that we can come and learn together and pick 1 or 2 things that we need to facilitate learning. Join me in my next video as we continue sharing top 5 reasons why teachers will not stay in your school. Very important points that you need to sit back with your management staff, with other colleagues of yours as a management or as a school owner, to discuss ways that you can structure your school and be sure that what you have in your staff handbook and what you are portraying or what is going on in the school is what should be. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I love you.